Amazing adventurous Aries, welcome. It is Sachi, and we are going to do some shamanic shifting, where we take your current energy, look at what your manifestation goal is, and then take your current energy and transmute it into whatever your goal is. A couple announcements. I am going, well, first, there is a storm going on, Aries, so I feel like that might be a little bit representative of what's going on in your life right now. But remember, storms are cleansing, right? The earth needs the water. But yeah, so all my readings will now be on YouTube. So if you're coming here from Instagram, just know that all of my readings are now going to be on my YouTube channel. If you're watching from YouTube, you're really not going to notice a difference other than the fact that my readings are now going to be longer than 15 minutes again. I really don't like feeling rushed, and I did that for my Instagram community just because I have the most followers there. But I feel like the value I have to offer really wasn't fully being put into my readings because I did feel constrained by that 15-minute time limit. So, additionally, my books are closed again. I opened them up and I sold out, or all my readings sold out, I should say, in less than 2 weeks. So, thank you so much for everybody who is booking with me for readings or spiritual mentorship. I really appreciate it. And just, you know, keep watch for when my books open again, because it seems like I just keep selling out faster and faster and faster each time I open my books. So, all right, Aries, let's just get started. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Wands, Two of Cups, Eight of Cups, Five of Cups, Seven of Cups in reverse, and the Hanged Man. So what this is telling me is that your routine has really switched up. You know, you were sort of doing the same thing over and over and over again, and now you have decided to change something in your life with quite a lot of passion with the King of Wands here. You're really using a lot of your firepower. The King of Wands in this deck kind of has a scorched earth mentality, so I kind of feel that's what you are like, you know what? Things that I've done in the past, burn it all, you know, burn it down to the ground, and so be it. I will rise again from the ashes. It's kind of the energy that I'm getting. I do also feel like you could have been with a King of Pentacles or dealing with the King of Pentacles, but I feel like it's more representative of your own masculine energy in terms of your firepower that may have been, you may have physically manifested as another entity in your life, namely fiery masculine. But anyway, we have the Two of Cups, so it is telling me that you had some sort of soul contract here. Two of Cups is an emotional exchange of equals, so I do feel like you had, you know, a certain type of soulmate here, but it looks like you understand that you have to walk away from this situation because it brought you disappointment. Eight of Cups is breaking that emotional cycle by not even dumping the cups out and taking them with you, but literally leaving those cups behind, and that is, of course, those emotional cups. Because those cups were filled with the Five of Cups. This is emotional poison, basically. You know, anything that makes you feel sadness, despair, you know, makes you want to drink 5 glasses of wine to cope with the situation. And that's why you're walking away, because with the Seven of Cups in reverse, you are no longer being delusional about the situation. You're no longer being overly hopeful or overly optimistic. You've sort of understood, okay, yes, I understand these emotions. Yes, I may even have, you know, true love for this person, but I have to be realistic about my own emotional bandwidth. And so you are now at the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man represents a dead end situation. You are finally seeing things from a different perspective and understanding that you know, it is a dead end and you need to walk away, and you know that you cannot do this same thing again. You can't go through the same thing or give it another chance. You're done doing that. With Clefairy using Moonlight I take as when, you know, Moonlight and Moon and Tarot represents like secrets and things that are hidden that are coming to surface. It's the subconscious aspect that is coming to light. So I do feel like there is a lot of that subconscious, you know, secret hidden energy. But Moonlight is also the light that you find in the shadow. Again, it's, you know, you go into the shadow realm, the unseen realm, and you find that light, which is that moon, which is the full moon. It's being illuminated here. You know, it's like even in the shadow of the nighttime, there still is that light. And so I feel like that is where you're at right now. You are seeing the light within the shadow. So in terms of, you know, the yin yang symbol, you are that little dot of white in the big, you know, black part. So Clefairy is also a moon worshipping Pokemon that evolves under a full moon. So I feel like you are going to be going through this evolution, but it is only when the full moon occurs, which, you know, full moon energy is all about releasing, right? It's the release. And, you know, the Aries full moon in the tropical timeline is coming up. And then the true sidereal Aries full moon is not until... let's see, beginning of November, like mid-November. So I feel like that time is really going to be transformational for you. But anyway, we have heat more using fire claws. So again, I feel like this is needing more heat, more fire claws. I feel like you really have to dig your claws into this. This very much gives me the same type of energy. Look at the, you know, the mannerism of these two. It's very, very similar. Again, it's kind of like a scorched earth policy again. And so I do feel like you're bringing more and more heat into the situation, your own firepower. And in so doing, this is causing your solar plexus to really, you know, beam big. And your solar plexus is your sense of self. It's where your willpower is. And it's because we had two fighting type energy in reverse. And I didn't even know I had two fighting types here. And this is the sacral chakra, which is right below the solar plexus, right? It's the root, then the sacral, and then the solar plexus. Sorry, you probably can't see the root. Right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, but right, then the heart and the throat. And so, you know, it's because you are releasing this fighting energy in your sacral, and your sacral is where you emotionally and sensually connect to others. So it might be one person, or it could be two people that you're releasing, honestly. But you're no longer engaging with fighting energy in your sacral chakra, which is causing your solar plexus to really overflow with energy here. So that's what came out in the cleansing ceremony. So that's just the energy being cleansed. Like I said, what we're going to do is take a look into what is going on in your current energy. We're going to take a look at your goal, and then we're going to see how to take your current energy and transmute it into your manifestation goal. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. And just a friendly reminder that the top two videos with the most likes get a bonus reading later in the month. And then whichever, or next month, I should say. And then whichever sign comes in first and gets the most likes for this month's reading will be getting a bonus reading next time I do my monthlies. So just letting you know. Okay. Let's see here what's going on in your current energy. Aries, I heard ugh, like kind of like an angry energy, but also it kind of feels relieved. Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune coming stuck. So you know that these karmic cycles are playing out. You know that the Wheel of Fortune is moving forward, but right now you're kind of in the thick of it is what I'm getting. Like, you know that things will be moving forward. And, you know, the Wheel of Fortune, when it's stuck, it's so that these karmic energies can be played out. You know it's going to be moving forward. But again, it's just kind of like in a stuck energy. Three of Swords in reverse. So you're trying not to feel heartbroken about the situation that has occurred. I saw the Knight of Pentacles, so it could have been someone who was moving towards you, but just way too slow. Tell me more. Coming out stuck again, Queen of Cups. Yeah, you're really, again, with the Three of Swords in reverse, you're trying not to be heartbroken about the situation. It's like you're trying to move on, but again, there is still this stuck energy with the Wheel of Fortune. With the Queen of Cups coming out stuck, I feel like you are maintaining your emotional composure. And that's part of kind of what's keeping you stuck is like, you know, I am okay on the outside. I'm fine. I'm this. Like, you are showing a lot of emotional maturity, but it doesn't necessarily feel like a lot of emotional honesty, if that makes sense. It's like you're avoiding this heartbreak and you don't want to admit that it was heartbreaking. Let's see, what's the light energy here? We have, yeah, I feel like this wants to come out too. Yeah. So trainer, oh, okay. It's not a trainer, but it feels like a trainer. So this is a special type of fighting energy, which we saw the sacral chakra, right? which is fighting energy, that came out in reverse for twice. But I feel like this is someone else's energy, where the way that they fight is that they turned into a stone. You know, it's like they just sort of shut down, stopped feeding the fire is what I'm hearing. They just withdrew their energy here. And in so doing, that turned your own sacral energy, your own sacral chakra also sort of hardened, where you don't feel as, you know, sensually or emotionally engaged. With Snubble using Ruckus, again, fairy type is a soul contract, a soulmate, right? You do this, I do that. Friends, lovers, family members, pets. These are all different types of soul contracts, right? I'll say that saying forever. And so Snubble, again, there's a soul contract where someone really caused a ruckus here. And then they try to hide away from their mistakes, basically. And as you can see, you know, Snubble's dog spirit. So there is this aspect of loyalty, of feeling loyal as part of this soul contract. As you see, he broke something. He broke that vase. And now he's hiding away. And I feel like that's kind of what happened here. Someone, you know, as you see, there's roses there, which can indicate like your heart or love. Someone broke your heart and then hid away. You know, they caused a ruckus, hid away, turned to stone. And again, it's like you're trying not to feel that heartbreak that they caused. It says, wow, okay, my throat chakra. Wow, it just felt like my throat chakra really got attacked. Almost like a sword went through it, to be honest. So I feel like the fact that this person, you know, is stone energy, you may not feel safe to speak your truth or haven't had the ability to. I definitely feel the throat chakra just closed on me. Well, actually, it like, yeah. Anyway, so it says, small Pokemon flee from its scary face. It is, however, considered by women to be cute. So I definitely feel there's this energy of like, you know, again, this is a scary type of energy of someone who doesn't take responsibility, who turns stone cold, who brings fighting energy. But yeah, here you are thinking that it's cute in some sort of way. It kind of reminds me of this post that I recently made on Instagram that was like, or I think I just might have tweeted it. I don't think I put it on Instagram, where it's like, you know, people who are, well, I'll put it a different way. People who have soul contracts where people, you know, cause a ruckus and break hearts, you know, which I would say is abusive, okay? So it's like these soul contracts, when people are being abused, sometimes, you know, the victim of abuse is like, oh, but they're choosing me to abuse, you know? And that's kind of the energy that I feel here. Again, I do feel like you're sort of past it, beyond it. It's already over. But again, it feels more like not admitting to yourself the damage that they really did to your heart. Let's see what's the shadow here. We have Xerneas using Aurora horns. So the Aurora, I'm getting like, okay, so horns energy, I'll say, is in juxtaposition to a halo, right? Angelic is halo, horns is lower vibrational, right? On the demonic end. So I feel like you, again, dealt with a lower vibrational soul contract of someone who, you know, caused a ruckus, broke things, you know, broke promises, broke hearts, whatever, turned into a stone, you know? And with the Aurora horns with Xerneas here, this is like a mythical, and it's also, you know, holographic. So it's kind of saying like, hey, notice me, you know? And the horns, as you can see, are all the colors. So I'm getting like this really influenced your entire aura. It influenced your root chakra, which is your sense of safety, your sleeping and eating patterns. It influenced your sacral chakra, how you emotionally and sensually connect to others, and also how you create. It influenced your solar plexus chakra, your sense of self, and your willpower. It definitely influenced your heart chakra, of your ability to access the vibration of love. It influenced your throat chakra, which I really felt that your throat got attacked or shut up, or it felt like, you know, a knife went through your throat almost. It's like the heart really went through your knife, but it manifested sort of through the throat. It influenced your third eye chakra, which is what's coming out here. It's your mindset. Your entire mental space is influenced. And your crown chakra, which is where you get external information from external sources. And again, we see it's more horn energy that you dealt with rather than halo. It says, when the horns on its head shine in 7 colors, it is said to be sharing everlasting life. Yeah, so you definitely enmeshed with your entire chakra system with this person is what I'm getting. And it's talking about sharing everlasting life. So I feel like you thought that you were going to be with this person for the rest of your life, you know, that it was, you know, you were infused that way because you were supposed to be together forever. But again, we see that doesn't seem to be the case. All right, let's see what your goal is here. I'm hearing like you want to bring them back. Whew. Let's see what your goal is for your greatest good, okay? Because maybe if it is for your greatest good, then hey, it is bringing them back, you know? But if it's not, then, you know, we'll see. All right, what's your goal here, Aries? No judgment. Strength coming out stuck and Queen of Swords. Yeah, you want a strong soul contract with this person that it is, you know, basically so strong that they can't get out of it. You know, the Queen of Swords is the one that writes the soul contracts. You know, her word is law in some sort of way. It's a proclamation. It's speaking truth. And with strength, it's like you really, I'm getting that you want to get this off your chest. You really want to speak up and, you know, strength is like the solar plexus. So it's like who you are, your sense of self, and channeling that into the Queen of Swords, which is like the throat chakra of communication. Give me a little bit more info. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, about how things were completely unfair. How things were so unbalanced. You know, in the natural essence of things, masculine energy gives and feminine receives. You know, that's just the natural dynamic. Or I should say, the yin energy is the feminine void that is receptive to the giving, penetrative nature of masculine or yang energy. And so part of you wants to, again, this very strong energy of speaking your truth about the inadequacy and imbalance of what was going on here. So 6 of Pentacles, as you can see, it's the feminine that's giving to the masculine. But still there's like a systemic issue within the 6 of Pentacles. Because, you know, no matter masculine, feminine, whatever, right? Put all that aside. The fact that this person is giving this person this coin, yeah, it helps them eat for a day or whatever, but there's still a systemic issue of why this person is, you know, so wealthy that they're dressed in the nicest whatever, and these people are in scraps. You know what I mean? And that just shows the inequality of access to resources, mindset, whatever, right? And so, yeah, I feel like part of this is that systemic injustice of what has gone on. And again, part of it is speaking some sort of truth about this. The Queen of Swords in this deck is Mary Wollstonecraft, who was a feminist. She was a feminist writer back in the 17th century, I believe, or 18th century. And she talked a lot about, you know, basically the strength of womanhood, but also, you know, how women can progress in some sort of way. You know, she was very outspoken, and even at a time where women were still sort of seen and not heard, she was publishing papers that people all around the world were reading, like, who is this woman? You know? So I don't necessarily feel like you want to publish a feminist manifesto, although you might want to. But it's more of this declaration of your power and what you can do. And again, part of that is all this strength of this Leo energy, which is your own willpower, your own creativity, and your own sense of self. And again, we saw with, you know, with the solar plexus, or I'm sorry, the sacral chakra coming out in reverse, you know, you're getting rid of these fighting energy. You don't want to fight your own creativity. And it looks like in the past you were connected emotionally or essentially to those who you were constantly fighting with, which stopped you from being able to use that energy creatively. But now your goal seems to be using it creatively. All right, let's see what's the light here. Solar plexus, yeah, it's like literally you will hear me roar is what I'm hearing. Like, you will see me, you will see my light, you will know my willpower. This is also the card of ego. So, you know, part of it is understanding that it's good to have a healthy sense of self and healthy willpower and healthy ego. Be careful of an overinflated one. Granted, I'm feeling that your sense of self was so enmeshed with this person or situation that it underinflated. So this overinflation almost, and I don't want to say overinflation as a bad thing, but this, overactivation of your sacral chakra is actually going to sort of restore the balance. It kind of reminds me of temperance energy, of like, you were in one extreme for so long that now you're going to the extreme on the other end, which eventually will bring you to the middle equilibrium, if that makes sense. We have Mispret using silent waves. So it looks like with silent waves, part of this seems to be right now, it kind of is like you want to express this energetically. You may not actually be speaking it. Maybe you want to write it. Again, like maybe you don't feel safe or confident to use your throat chakra. So for example, you'd write a book instead of making a speech. Or you'd, create a film instead of doing a monologue or something like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of it right now is still stuck in your third eye. It's still a lot in your mental space, but it definitely wants to be communicated in some sort of way. It says it sleeps at the bottom of a lake. Its spirit is said to leave its body to fly on the lake's surface. So one, there's a lot of astral projection energy. So I feel like, pay attention to what is going on in your astral space in your dreams, because a lot of messages are probably coming through there. But what I'm getting is it's talking about being asleep at the bottom of the lake, right? But then it leaves its body and goes on the lake surface. So there is a lot of deep, again, it's that moon card, right? Water is the emotional energy. There's stuff that is asleep on the the floor of the ocean, right? The floor of the lake, or I should say, which is like the deep stuff that's asleep, right? The subconscious and unconscious stuff. But as you begin to express it, it's going to come to the surface. You're going to express this. Other people are going to be able to see it. Let's see, what's the shadow here? Coming out stuck. A lot of stuck energy here, Aries. Going right to the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, dark energy coming out stuck. So it seems like even though this is your goal, there is a lot of this dark energy that is stuck in the shadow. So again, it's like you want to bring this stuff to the surface. You want to bring this stuff up without actually having to say anything. It's a very interesting energy. So again, it might be writing a letter. It might be writing a song. Expressing it creatively that you don't have to actually speak it, if that makes sense. And again, a lot of shadow energy, subconscious, unconscious, astral energy is stuck there. So, your goal is to bring that to light, is to have this light energy upright. And so, yeah, we're going to see, how we can do that. We're going to see how to take your current energy and transmute it to your goal, and see what other messages are going to come out along the way. But let's see what Mother Moon would like to say. There's something else that wants to come out first. Yeah. Let's see what Mother Nature wants to say first. Okay, we have wind activation, DNA karma, and Gaia nurturing. Yeah, and lotus flower unfoldment, and I wanted to go right over to the angelic deck. So the angels are saying allow this to unfold naturally. You don't have to force yourself to be activated. It looks like as you continue to nurture yourself and nurture your relationship with Mother Nature herself, with Mother Gaia, it is going to cause some DNA activations, okay? They have not been activated yet. So, I have a background in genetics, so I worked in the genetics lab for quite some time. Not anymore, but I did in the past. And so DNA can either be, right, DNA, a gene or gene sequences or pathways can either be activated or inactivated. And right now it's showing me that some of this karmic energy that is stuck in your DNA has not been activated yet. That's why you're stuck in that wheel of fortune. That's why there's a lot of stuck energy. But the only way to activate your DNA is through epigenetic factors, which is environmental stimulus. And the environmental stimulus that you need is to nurture yourself. Connect to Mother Nature, connect to Mother Gaia, allow this nurturing energy of the planet herself to nurture you, and make sure that you are doing right by nature at the same time. That is going to cause these DNA activations, but again, you have to allow this to naturally unfold. You cannot force it. So there is something to be said about the divine timing and divine alignment of this. Let's see what Mother Moon says. Woo, yes, luck is on your sign, new moon in Sagittarius. So it's interesting because the new moon in Sagittarius is about a month and a half after the full moon in Aries, which, you know, obviously the new moon in Sagittarius is going to trine whatever placement you have in Aries, right? It's going to be approximately 120 degrees away from it. So luck is on your side. You are going to be found victorious. And it is good that luck is on your side because, you know, whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish, again, luck's on your side, which means that that's good. The scale is tipping more in your favor than not, even though it seems like in the past there has been quite an injustice here, you know, or an imbalance, I should say. So let's see here. Let's see. Let's see what angel would like to bring us into the extended. I'm getting to pull from the Angelarium. Let's see what angel. We have Chesed, the right hand, empathy. And wow, Gavura, the left hand, judgment. Yeah, so again, this is balancing the left and right, right? And the left and right is the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. The masculine being the right and the feminine being the left. And this gives me an energy of like, you know how the saying is like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing? And that can be when like bureaucracy gets so crazy that it's like all the moving parts have no idea really what's going on. And the macrocosm has sort of become distorted because the microcosm is no longer working in tune. Well, this is talking about getting the microcosm to work in tune so that the macrocosm is an entity that is working in harmony. And so this is saying your own masculine and feminine energy need to work in unison. There, you know, this is tapping into empathy, and look how there is that protection over the heart chakra of understanding, you know, it's empathy of having that emotional comprehension and understanding and emotional maturity that we see that you're already a part of. But it's also having Gavura, judgment, making a clear judgment call with empathy. Wow. You hear that? It sounds like wind chimes. Wow, beautiful. Okay, this is a perfect time to head into the extended Aries. It feels like a new era for you, honestly. So if you would like to follow me into the extended, the link is in the description box below. But if we part ways here, good luck with the situation. I'm sending you so much love.